what are the techniques, tricks, et cetera, people can think about to integrate into their regimen?
Yeah. So fat loss is simply being in the right calorie deficit. But if you're staying lean, you just need to eat around maintenance. The idea is to make eating at a deficit as enjoyable and easy as possible. So what I do is I fast every day. So if I wake up at 9 in the morning, I'll fast till 2 p.m. So I'll fast 5 hours after I wake up, sparkling water, black coffee. And then my first meal, like the goal for me, the way I can get lean and stay lean is keep my calories fairly low until dinner. So I don't eat a massive, like I eat very light until dinner. And it takes some discipline at first. And you kind of get used to it. So my first meal is relatively small. I'll have some fresh fruit, Greek yogurt mixed with some collagen. I fit in treats every day. I might even have that with a Rice Krispie square. But I'm like, okay, this is 650 calories. And then my big feast, I like to eat a big satisfying dinner, steak, potatoes, broccoli, maybe a slice of bread. Have like 1,300 calories. So I'm at like 1,900, and then I'll have a little bit of dessert at night, some cookies.
So you're not macro focused that much as far as like...
So macro focused, I'm not too worried about, because once you have, so the goal is to get sufficient protein. So you only need about 0.82 grams per pound of lean, like of body weight, target body weight. So if I'm 180, it's about 150 is plenty. So if I get 40 grams in the first meal and then 100 grams, it's easy. So I hit the protein. And then there's no magical ratio of fats and carbs. The main thing is not going too low in fat, which can suppress testosterone, and not going too low in carbohydrates, just balance. So I just eat balance, the right amount of protein. And the goal really is, the North Star is, how do I make eating 2,200, 2,300 calories as easy as possible? Because my natural body would love to eat 3,500 calories a day. Like that's what I would love to eat 4,000 like this. Like it's that's what I'm solving for.
Yeah.
And so I do that by staying lean, keep that first meal very like, this beautiful Greek yogurt, collagen bowl of fresh fruit, a little treat, and then the big satisfying dinner and a little dessert. And that's what I do.
Do you wake up like hungry? Because for me, I've basically eaten one meal a day, like a fat dinner.
Yeah.
2,500 calories are on average, I would say, most of my life. And I don't know if it's stress related, but also if I eat during the middle of the day, it kind of bogs me down. I like to get all my stuff done for the day and then like eat a giant meal, lay around for an hour or two and go to bed.
Yeah, I would, I'm not hungry in the morning, but I do get hungry, a few hours into the day. So I don't like the one meal a day approach. I think there's benefits to getting 2 protein feedings per day. I think 2 versus 3, 4 doesn't make a difference, but there's a benefit to having 2. So I would encourage to have like a lighter kind of lunch or afternoon meal and then the big dinner. But sort of, yeah, that's sort of my approach that I've crafted. Doesn't mean it's for everyone, but this is sort of the framework that I find makes it easy for me to stay in the deficit.
And you determine that caloric threshold for your deficit by just your body mass times a number?
Yeah, the metabolism is actually very, very fixed. The idea that we all have crazy different metabolisms is wrong. It's fixed based on a few simple inputs: how much muscle you have and how much you move. So you're 6'4", you're 230 pounds. So that's a lot of muscle mass that you have. So your maintenance requirements are going to be pretty high, especially if you're active and you're moving around. And so I can even just say, let's say you want to cut to 215, 220.
Yeah, when I cut last time it was 215.
215.
I was shredded.
Yeah, so I would take 215 times it by 13. So I mean, you could honestly, like, you can eat quite a bit of calories and get lean. The thing is that where people mess up, it's tracking. They think they're eating in a deficit. They're not. They're overeating. They grab some extra foods they're not accounting for. And also the bigger one as well is they're good for a few days, and then they have a couple days they overeat, and that 1 day a week overeating can undo an entire 6 days of deficits.
So no cheat days.
What was that?
No cheat days.
Cheat days don't work.
Interesting.
Yeah, cheat days don't work.
Why does that heavy caloric load wreck the previous 5 days?
Well, simply because if you create a 500 calorie deficit a day, which is, it's not like 500 calorie deficit a day is pretty strong, right? If you can create a 500 calorie deficit a day over 5 days, that's 2,500, right? Let's say you're a big guy, you burn 3,000 calories a day, right? It's easy to go and eat 8,000. It's not that big. It's not that hard eating 8,000 calories, or call it 6,000. So that surplus you create, that like it's not like there's a limit to how much damage you can do in one day. You could gain 3 pounds of fat in one day if you go overboard, like very significantly.
So it loads fat on your body as opposed to like recalibrating or messing with your metabolism or metabolic rate, or does it do both?
So what was the question? Yeah.
Does that one heavy caloric day?
Yeah.
The issue is that you're going to put on fat that day, as opposed to changing how your metabolism is operating, or what does it do both?
It's not going to affect how your metabolism is operating. I mean, you can do a refeed day, which is, let's say you're in a deficit 6 days a week, right? Then one day you eat around maintenance. That's your refeed day, and that can support leptin and has certain benefits. It's not that powerful, but it has subtle little benefits, giving yourself a day to refeed. A cheat day is a day where it's like, you can have whatever you want.
Right.
It's like, there's no, like you can just, cheat day is infinite, right? The challenge is that most people, like you, like myself, and maybe for you, the cheat day, you end up eating around maintenance or a bit higher, so that works for you, but cheat days don't work. There's just no, the idea of the cheat day usually is you're very, very strict for several days, and maybe you cut out certain foods. And again, fat loss is not about cutting out certain foods. Cutting out certain foods doesn't matter. Fat loss is just energy balance. Mm-hmm. Are you in the deficit? You can be in the deficit eating 3 donuts a day if you really wanted to, right? So just because you're eating healthy, clean foods doesn't mean you're going to get lean and gain muscle. Fat loss and muscle gain is literally, are you getting enough protein? Are you getting the right amount of calories? Are you getting the right training stimulus? So if you focus on like the actual science of actual physique transformation, then clean or not doesn't matter. I could eat clean and gain fat easily.
Really?
Can we talk then about bulking versus cutting?
But this is the kind of this is the kind of crazy thing where people kind of think, if I eat clean, I'll get ripped, I'll get strong. It's energy balance. Fat loss, you must be in a deficit, get enough protein, maintain muscle. And if you want to build muscle, you don't even need that many calories. So I'll meet guys like, dude, I want to get bigger. I can't gain weight. I'm like, how much strength have you gained, right? Are you hitting the weights consistently 3 days a week, tracking every exercise, every set? Are you adding reps? If you just focus on getting strong, muscle just comes, and even your appetite starts to acclimate. So guys that complain that they can't gain weight, they often are not hyper focused on your job's to get stronger. Your job's to go from 40-pound dumbbell shoulder presses up to 50s. And if you just focus on getting strong, everything falls into place. You gain more muscle. And if you just focus on, you got to eat calories, you end up gaining disproportionate amounts of fat.
Right. But you do need to be in a surplus for that muscle building phase, right?
You need to be in, it's a very, very modest surplus.
Okay.
And even if you're training intensely, right, the adaptation to training, right, is built into maintenance. So if you're training hard, right, pushing the weights up, and you track your entire maintenance, that maintenance intake level will support muscle growth. But as you gain muscle over time, your maintenance will increase. So for gaining muscle, like if you want to play it safe, 200 calories extra per day, max.
Wow.
But isn't the kind of food that you're eating, like all calories aren't the same? Like I think about calories as like fluid ounces or gallons that you're putting in your gas tank. Like I can put diesel fuel in my truck, or I can put water or urine in my truck. It's not going to run the same. So
for your body weight changing, it is the same.
Calories are this. It doesn't matter what you're eating. If you're eating carbs, seed oils versus like red meat, and like nutrient density doesn't have that much relevance
For weight, no.
Interesting.
No. But for health, for hormonal, your hormonal levels, like yes, eating high quality, nutrient dense food is important. And also for satiety. If you just eat junk all day, you're not going to feel full. So you're going to overeat. But as far as seeing, if I wanted to program someone to gain 10 pounds or lose 10 pounds, right? That's all calories in versus calories out. So to actually affect a change in your body weight, then calories matter. It's all about calories. And also like that same argument, someone could say that, but if you just eat healthy food, well, what if someone actually, not everyone wants to lose weight. What if they want to gain weight? So just eat healthy food. It's you want to eat nutritious, wholesome food, and you want to hit the correct amount of calories to achieve your goal.
I mean, this is a straight up profit and loss statement, basically,
Yeah.
right? You're either over or under, and you're either increasing in size or decreasing in size.
Yeah.
But is there any impact on the quality of foods on body composition as you're increasing or decreasing, or it doesn't matter if it's donuts or steak?
There is going to be an influence, but once you're getting in enough protein, right? You're getting enough protein to support muscle growth. That's going to be the biggest impact. So if you're eating 30 grams of protein per day versus eating 150, that's going to have the greatest impact. But then, if you're eating foods that are, and you're very, very deficient in your micronutrients, that's going to, over time, that's going to hurt your physique.
I see.
If you're not healthy, right? And then also it can also deplete your testosterone levels if you're not getting the right food. So yeah, it's 80-20. Yeah. 80% of the time, 80% of your calories should come from wholesome, nutritious foods, fruits, lean meats, eggs, potatoes, vegetables. And then 20% you can fit in what you want.
So the quality of protein maybe matters as far as like in longevity. I think about like whey protein versus like eating a bunch of ribeyes. Is there really going to be a difference there?
I mean, well, those are very, very different. You're comparing like just a pure protein isolate powder with like a food that has protein, fats,
that whole nutritional
vitamins,
matrix.
minerals, So, and also like if you take a whey protein shake, that's going to absorb very, very, very quickly. It just goes right through your system. Whereas if you could eat a pound of ribeye, this is the crazy thing. If you were to eat a pound of steak, say at 8 p.m., right? You will have a constant supply of amino acids in your bloodstream for at least the next 15, 16 hours. It takes like your body can only absorb like 5 grams per hour with like a fatty, high protein meal. And so if that has 100 grams of protein, that could very well be, you have amino acids in your bloodstream for 20 hours.
So that would be ideal.
That would be good. Yeah. So I mean, the whole idea you have to eat every few hours, you got to eat first in the morning is actually wrong. Especially if you have a large protein dinner, you have amino acids in your system for literally 12 plus hours.
Interesting. So, and maybe you're doing this right now, but like you've, I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong. You've achieved the aesthetic that you're going for. So let's say I or someone else also does this. Then are you just striving to maintain that aesthetic across the year? Or are you still setting goals like, I want to go up, I want to go down, I want to do this, I want to do that? Like, what do you get to a point of maintenance, and what does that look like?
Yeah, you hit maintenance actually pretty quickly because your first year of training, let's say we had someone, let's say you've never worked out before, right? Your first year of training, you can gain 15 to 20 pounds of muscle. First year of training, if you train very hard, very consistent, the right amount of calories and protein, you're getting stronger. The second year, that number is cut in half. So it goes from 15, 20 to like 7 pounds. And then the next year, it's like 3, 4 pounds. And then, so as you get to year 5, year 6, you're not really gaining much muscle. But of course, people have years where they screw around. And then so the year 3, they can gain a bit more because the year 2.
Yeah.
But it's like after 5, 6 years of consistent hard training post-puberty, there's not much more muscle you're gaining. You're maybe gaining a few pounds here and there if you're dialed. But again, most people do not have 5 years of solid, consistent, hard training at all. So they still have a lot they can gain. And the interesting thing though, is that if you take someone, what's the difference between someone that has amazing genetics and someone that has average genetics? Oftentimes, the guy that has amazing genetics just can get there faster. But someone that has average genetics, they can still get there. It just takes longer. which is, so it's a powerful, empowering message for someone that's just like, man, my genetics are not that good.
Yeah.
Time fixes a lot. If you have I've seen this, even like, you know, I have two brothers in my family, right? One on paper was like, oh, he's got crazy genetics. He gets there faster. But then the person that's kind of like seems a bit stubborn, just consistency. And then it's like crazy what you can achieve. So yeah, for some person, they might be able to hit like, you know, within 5-10 pound, like the pretty high level natural physique in 3-4 years. Someone else, it could take, it might be slower in the beginning. It might take 7. But so yeah, that's kind of the interesting thing with genetics. But yeah, basically I'm maintaining. Like usually most men that start lifting weights as a teenager, their peak tends to be somewhere around late 20s to early 30s. That's the peak for strength. It's not 25, it's not 22.
In Olympic lifting, it was 27 to 32.
Yeah.
The guys that held all the world records and all that were 27 to 32.
Is that testosterone related?
It's not
muscle maturity, bone density. It's a lot of things.
Yeah,
right?
it's not even testosterone related. Usually testosterone peaks around 20. It's just that it takes time to gain strength.
Yeah.
So you make the craziest results in the first 5 years. So imagine someone starts working out from 16 to 21. They make 80%, right, of their gains. But then but then some of these lifters from, you know, 24 to 30, they're fighting for that 10%, right? So it just takes time to gain strength. So if you've been lifting weights for 10 years, yeah, you'll be stronger after 10 years than 5 years of lifting, but the gains you make in the first 5 years will be 10 times more than the gains you make in the next 5 years. So law of diminishing returns kicks in. So for me, I'm honestly just having fun with training. I'm having fun. If I do a new movement for a couple months, I can make gains on you know, new movements, but I'm pretty much just staying consistent. And then the where I can make progress is if I just cut and get crazy lean for, you know, a few weeks or something. So I keep my body fat in a certain range, but it's still fun. It's still fun to train. I'll play around with new things, and then, you know, but there's always something you can improve on.
Sure. And so you're consistently in deficit throughout the year to maintain your body fat.
I am not consistently in a deficit throughout the year. I tend to focus on being in a deficit more often because my natural status quo is I want to eat more food. So I'm kind of pushing myself in the deficit, but I'd say most of the year I'm eating around maintenance. And then I'll have little sprints and little periods where I'm in a consistent deficit and my weight's going down.
Got it.
But yeah, most people, generally speaking, and this is the interesting thing with fat loss, is that the key to fat loss is really in mastering eating at maintenance, because most of the time you're going to be eating around maintenance. And if all you know how to do is go intense and lose 10 pounds, if that's all you know how to do, then when you go back to eating normal, you just gain the weight so fast.
This is exactly the question I wanted to ask you next.
Yeah.